We really pride ourselves in being able to work with each customer and being able to dial in the most appropriate material for their needs. It's a process, and we want to engage the customer as early as possible and make sure they get the most possible. Most of our customers don't really have expert plastic part designers, and a lot of them are coming from a place where they have a metal part and they want to convert it to a plastic part. When that happens, we usually get involved and we make sure that all the things are in place so that we have a successful design that's very injection moldable, that has very few defects potentially, because we try to minimize the opportunity for those defects to happen with the process and the product design being optimized. We just want to make sure that they have the best chance of success, and we're keeping the costs as low as possible. Here at Chomerics, we actually have our own EMI shielding plastic products, which makes us pretty different from a lot of other places that do injection molding. We actually make plastic pellets here as well. We have like 12 different types of EMI shielding conductive plastics, and each one kind of has their own unique properties. So we're looking to make sure that the right product is used for the right application. Customers will come to us that they won't know where to begin with the whole process, and we kind of like break it down for them and say, okay, what do you need here? What do you need there? So the first place we start is polymer family. We have 3 unique polymer families. We have PCABS, that's the bulk of our products. We have PBT, or otherwise known as polyester. And then we have PEI, which most people know as the trade name Ultem. Each one of those polymer families kind of like brings its own unique properties to the table, and we make sure that those properties are suited for the right application. For instance, PCABS, it's a really common material that's used on all kinds of consumer products. So things like printers and like desktop phones, it's super common in those types of applications. So it's easy to mold, and the one thing about it is it's cost effective, but it also takes on conductive fillers really well. So as far as all our polymer families, that one has like the highest capability for shielding because of the nature of those polymers. They're amorphous polymers is what they're called. Within the PCABS family, we have like flame retardant grades, we have general purpose grades, and then we have like high impact grades. Certain industries, you have to use a flame retardant material. Like if you were in telecommunications and you're making a housing, it would have to be an FR grade of material. And then other applications, like for our military customers, they're very interested in impact resistance, so we would use the high impact material for that. And then certain customers, they just want like the most cost effective solution possible, and they don't have any of these special requirements. So we would kind of lean towards general purpose for those customers. The PBT family, something we brought along about 3-4 years ago, is designed more for the automotive market. The unique property it brings is it's very chemically resistant to like automotive fluids. So PBT you could use under the hood of a car, for instance, with a regular internal combustion engine. If it was exposed to gasoline or motor oil or hydraulic fluids, it's resistant enough where it's not going to crack over time. So it has like the right chemical makeup to be able to function in that environment. Plus, one of our PBT grades even has a hydrolysis resistant additive where like in a warm, moist environment, certain polymers will break down over time and they'll become like brittle and crumble. And we put special additives into our PBT 225 to make it hydrolysis resistant so that it's able to withstand a longer time duration before it breaks down. The PEI family, that was specially designed for aerospace, because in aerospace you have to pass certain special requirements. They actually do a burn test, and you can only give off so much smoke during the burn test. So the PEI is able to meet that smoke density test. And also PEI has the highest temperature rating out of all our materials. So that'll go up to like 170 C. That brings its own special performance characteristics. Then we look at things like special considerations, and special considerations are like, for instance, in the PCABS family, we already talked about the flame retardant grades. So those grades can pass certain flame retardant testing criteria like ULV0. So that's one example of a special consideration. And then the other one is, like we talked about, we have two PBT grades. One of them has the hydrolysis resistant additive and the other one doesn't. The other one's flame retardant. So again, we formulate those materials to have unique properties. The last consideration is the PEI grade, which we talked about, the smoke density testing. We formulated it so that it only has, it doesn't have fillers in it that would cause a high smoke output. And then the last thing I want to talk about is shielding rating. Many of our products are basically like, we make one PBT grade to do this and one PBT grade to do that. But in our PCABS family, we actually have 3 different levels of shielding for all of our 3 sub-polymer families. And there's like a kind of an economy grade of shielding, there's a mid grade of shielding, and then there's the highest possible shielding. And what we're trying to do there is we're trying to customize the material so that the customer who only needs a moderate level of shielding is only paying for what they need, and they're not like spending top dollar for shielding that's like twice as good as what they need. And that way we can kind of like try to keep the cost as manageable as possible. So in the PCABS family, each of those 3 different types of subcategories has its own shielding level. So we have the A220 level, which is the economy, the A230 level, which is the mid-grade, and the A240 level, which is the highest shielding. There's a lot more we can talk about, but this is just kind of a quick overview of what our materials offer. We really pride ourselves in being able to work with each customer and being able to dial in the most appropriate material for their needs. It's a process, and we want to engage the customer as early as possible and make sure they get the most suitable material possible. We always recommend to people to go right to application and engineering. They'll hook you up with the most appropriate engineer possible that can walk you through the process. And we don't want anybody to think that, oh, I got to figure this thing out on my own, because it's way too complicated to do that on your own, and we're here to help.